Hey guys, welcome back to Philip Draws Comics. Feels like it's been a really long time since I've said that, probably because it actually has been. I just wanted to give you guys a little heads up. My wife and I, Jane, have a new podcast slash YouTube channel we've got going on. It's called Superman Pillow Talk, and it's us not necessarily reviewing Superman media, but using Superman media as like a prompt, a jumping off point to talk about relationships and feelings and stuff like that. My wife Jane's been wanting to do a podcast like that for a long time, and we found we couldn't really. We need a little more structure than just yakking at each other. So I was like, well, why don't we talk about Superman? Because I'll never run out of things to say about Superman. As a result, I can also share things with her, comic books, movies, TV shows, and kind of get her perspective on those things. But here's a couple of clips from our first two episodes, which are live now. This coming week, we're going to do our third episode. It's going to be about the 1980s and 90s Superboy live-action TV series, which is one of my favorite pieces of Superman media and is, I feel like, woefully underrepresented in discussions in the fandom. But here's us talking about our thoughts about Superman, Lois, and the new James Gunn Superman trailer. You hit on what was an original guiding light for the series. He's basically baby Moses if he grew up to be Samson. That's kind of the initial idea from Siegel and Schuster back in the 30s. And then you sort of filter that through like Edgar Rice Burroughs, John Carter of Mars, That's kind of how the initial idea of Superman came. That was pretty much all it was just a guy in a cape beating up bad guys. And then over the years, all this other stuff that we're going to talk about kind of generated from just story friction.
Yeah, didn't you tell me at one point that, like, early Superman, he was more like a bully or, like, a bully for the bad guys?
A bully, yeah, he was a bully, but he was the bully that was on your side. He was like, what if the scariest guy in the room had your back?
Like Jack Reacher?
Yeah, that's a perfect,
okay.
The thing that makes Superman is the secret identity.
Okay.
Because you get to have the Jack Reacher moments, but it's kind of like, the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
The thing about the Hulk is you want people to piss him off. And then he hulks out. That's cathartic. That's what Superman is. Superman is the nerdy boy who girls don't like, who other guys pick on. And then when he's had enough, oh shit, everybody's fucked.
That's what I kind of like about you. Not that you're nerdy or the girls don't like, but like you're usually so even keel and easygoing. So when someone pisses you off, like you're ready. It's like, oh, righteous anger come down from above.
Mine comes off more like Bob from Bob's Burgers, though, like in the early seasons of Bob's Burgers where he like gets hysterical. I'm less like Incredible Hulk, Superman, Jack Reacher, and more just like hysterical Bob on painkillers, screaming and running,
Well, I guess I'm just a full-on Linda because I like it.
We're definitely in the relationship paradigm. We are Bob. We are probably more Bob and Linda than we are Clark and Lois. But like, what do you think of Lois Lane in 1938?
She's ballsy.
She is, isn't she?
But I mean, I like that. I like that better than
Damsel in Distress.
Yeah. Lois. My theory is that because she's so ballsy and has such a backbone that you see her use when they're out on the dance floor. Maybe she has seen Clark be such a submissive person that she can't respect him.
Right. A group of gangsters notice Clark and Lois dancing, and one of them takes a shine to Lois and goes over there and pushes Clark out of the way and demands to dance with Lois. And Lois gives Clark the initial, "You going to do anything about this?" And Clark's like, "Well, just dance with him one time and we'll go ahead and go." And Lois literally says the line, "You dance with him," and then slaps the gangster and stomps off.
Mm-hmm.
1938. That's pretty badass. So then the next thing that happens is, I think, your favorite part, the interview scene between Lois and Clark.
Yeah, what can I say? Every time I see the trailer, for me, I don't have the history that you do with Superman and the franchise. So for me, again, with most media, I just go off of how it makes me feel. And I feel like the actors have really good chemistry, especially the actor who plays Superman. It just feels like he is definitely into her.
Yeah.
And watching it again, like the way he looks at her, and then his voice, listening to it again. I mentioned to you I really liked his voice, and you made an interesting point that it sounds like he's giving a much more natural performance. There's more like fluctuation in the treble, and it's not so forced, and I find that very intriguing and refreshing.
There's a part, where she talks to him, she calls him Superman, and he leans forward and goes, Ms. Lane. He does his Superman voice right then, but every other time, he's just talking to her the way, like, I talk to you. He's getting worked up, he's getting aggravated, he's getting exasperated, he's just like, what the heck? Why are you being,
Yeah.
And so it looks like he's a couple of years into his career. I almost wonder if this is a version of Superman who has, like, never had a bad day, who, like, has gotten applause for every single thing he's done since he showed up. And this is the first time anybody's been like, that wasn't cool. And he's like, it's the same thing I always do. They're like, yeah, but it was over there, and that might cause that was an international incident. It's one thing when you're stopping Godzillas and aliens. It's, again, the thing we were talking about, real world versus story. Everybody's fine when Superman stays in his lane. Yeah, go fight aliens, go fight Godzilla, go fight bank robbers who shoot ice out of laser guns. But go intervene in the Middle East, do like Christopher Reeve's Superman and take away all the nuclear weapons on Earth.
Oh, now you're playing God.
Now you're playing God. Now you're causing more problems than you're solving. We don't really want you dealing with real world. So that's almost would be really fascinating if the narrative of the story had like a meta narrative aspect of like, we don't really want you dealing with real world. Just stick to the giant robots. I think for me, my favorite thing about Superman as a character is because he's like generic superhero man. You can do all the other stories you can do with other characters. You can pour back into Superman. All other superheroes are basically Superman, but he has no powers, or he's a teenager, or he's a cop in outer space, or he only has one superpower like super speed. So you can do sort of interesting, all other superheroes are sort of riffs on Superman. But because of that, any story you can do with Spider-Man or Batman or the Fantastic Four or Iron Man, you can fold back into Superman and you can tell that kind of story with this sort of singular, sort of self-insert character that is Superman. So that right there is your little taste of what you get for mine and Jane's new Superman Pillow Talk podcast. If it sounds like something you're interested in, I'll leave a link in the description. Just come take a listen, see if you like it. Like I said, we're 2 episodes in. We're going to drop a third later this week. So, be a pal and give it a listen. I want to thank you guys for watching the videos I have on this channel. I haven't posted any new content in a while, and I still get a fair number of views from me, and I still get new subscribers trickling in. So when I saw that the other day, I felt kind of guilty. I was like, I should probably start posting more stuff on this channel if anybody's enjoying it and interested in it. I've really enjoyed doing those like training videos where I break down an artist's style like Akira Toriyama or Bruce Timm. I also enjoy just kind of like what you're looking at now, where I just turn on the camera and just record myself drawing. It's been a very helpful thing to do because now I can go back and watch older videos and learn, like basically Monday morning quarterback, learn where I make mistakes, where I zig, where I should zag. It's really helped my art overall. So in the comments, let me know if there's anything I've done that you'd like to see more of, or anything I haven't done that you'd like to see me try. If you enjoyed listening to me and Jane talk, let me know. She could come and we can draw the Fantastic Four, and we could talk about the relationship between Reed and Sue. We're probably really going to talk about the new Fantastic Four movie when that comes out this summer. I'm almost more excited for that than I am for the new Superman movie. And once again, I just want to say all the classic things. Thanks so much. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Give our other channel a listen. Share that with your partner. Let us know if it sparks any interesting discussions in your family or relationships. And thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.